Good evening.
What up?
What's up? What's up, everybody?
Yo.
We got a nice little start to the show. Hey, this is something new that we doing. A little exclusive interview with the devs at SRG Studios
What's up, guys?
with the
Yo,
with
yo.
the
How's it going?
game championship.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Skellinova been playing. All I can say is it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Nice.
good. We've been liking it.
Been
Liking
liking
it. I've been able to play on my Xbox and on my ROG Ally. Um, Works good. I think Scale and Nova been playing it on mostly Steam, right?
Yep.
On
Steam.
PC. But it's good, man. So we got the studio director of SRG Studios, George Castillo. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
We also got Daniel Sosa, the level design or the lead designer. Sorry, not just the level. He's the man.
I do a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, we all do.
And we got Rick Fernandez, the technical designer.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Getting technical up in there. I see you. I see you.
He makes the game feel good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
The game
That's
juice.
good.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Before I start on y'all's introductions, man, I need to get this this super chat out the way. So like between questions, if we have any super chats, I'll pop them up there. There might be some questions. I'll make sure I vet them, and then we'll pop them up here. But Adidas 20 dropped a 10 bomb saying, let's go. He was excited. He was ready.
Thank you.
Yes,
He
sir.
was ready.
Mhm.
Appreciate that, Adidas 20. 100%. So we're going to start with you, George. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Man, first of all, thanks for having us. This is super cool, and hope we can chat a little bit about the game. So my name's George. I'm studio director at SRG. We've been, hacking out games for close to a decade now. Actually, over a decade. We did our 10-year anniversary in December. So yeah, I started on the industry, a long time ago. Basically, I did a big jump. I used to work as an engineer in a boring, manufacturing facility, and then I jumped into my passion for gaming, and here we are, 10 years later, making games and still
That's
going.
nice.
Yeah, man.
That's so cool, man. So much experience at the table right here. That's so cool, man.
For sure. Congrats
So-
on the 10-year too, for sure.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. It
Mhm.
felt nice. Felt nice. It seemed like a dream back then, and it's like kind of living it. And it's super
Right.
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's great, man. It's Daniel.
How's it going, guys?
Tell-
Thanks for having us
tell-
on.
Hey, no, thank you for coming on. For
Definitely.
real, man.
This is
It's
huge.
a win. It's a win-win all around. Daniel, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Hey, it's like Jorge, we've been at it for around over 10 years making games. I started out and studied marketing, and then I made the jump to doing some game art, learning how to do models and characters. I slowly made my way into design. Jorge and I actually started out doing like small productions, animation productions, before
Yeah.
we got together with Mike for to start making video games. And there, I just slowly made my way into design, and especially once our first game, which was a sort of big hefty ask, it was like a MOBA. I slowly
Okay.
made our way through
Oof.
the industry in mobile till we got here to making championship, and it's just
Nice.
fun to just like get in there, help create the vision for the game, think about the characters, think about their attacks, make things blow up.
Yeah.
Blowing
Just
up our favorite
every
things
night,
is making things
how-
blow up in the game. Yeah.
How can we make something blow up better tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's great. Rick, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
All right. Well, not first of all, just want to say thanks for having us on, man. It's really nice. I had an interesting start. I mean, unlike these two guys, I studied game design, but yeah.
You
Like
put that
I
in
went in
quotes?
guns blazing, like yeah.
The quote
It's just
thing.
like when you study a game design, like degree, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But not. I basically started as a QA guy, because my cousin, who used to be one of the programmers for the company, we were talking, and he told me, "Hey, I heard you were studying game design. You want to come in and test our game out for like a few days or whatnot?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I started going there, and then every day I just started showing up. They probably didn't want me there at the beginning, but
You wouldn't leave. You
every
wouldn't
day
leave.
I kept showing up, testing, and I didn't know barely anything outside of like some basic drawing stuff and some 3D modeling. But
Okay.
I slowly started familiarizing myself with like the game engine, which we use Unity, and I slowly, as I was testing stuff, I was like, let me see if I can fix something. I would just start messing around with stuff, and that's what helped me kind of familiarize myself with like the game engine and improve my skills in the industry basically. And
Okay.
it led me into what I'm in now, which is like a technical designer, which is like it's a weird position you probably don't hear often because they're kind of like a jack of all trades kind of thing. So I think all the people that do that finally got together and said, "All right, this is what we're going to call ourselves." Yeah. So, but yeah, that's pretty much me. I've just I've had that QA like road to game designer kind of thing where it's like started out just testing game, learned the skills along the way.
Rags to riches
Rags to
story.
riches.
Yeah, rags to riches.
Yep.
Yeah,
Trial by fire too.
yeah, literally, man.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, man. So with that, I am going to go ahead. Actually, man, each one of y'all quickly just tell me what game have y'all been playing recently?
You start, Daniel. Think about it for a second. Championship.
The last game.
Oh, yeah.
Championship every night,
Obviously.
every day.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, we need to take a break, and I've been playing Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3. It's been great. It's
Very good choice. Yeah. What about you, Rick?
Man, it's been hard because like I bounce around a lot between a few games.
Okay.
But I guess the most recent ones would be between For the King 2. I don't know if you guys have seen. You guys ever play Jet Set Radio for like?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Dreamcast?
My goodness.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm a massive fan of that, and I don't know if you guys have seen Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, but it's like a spiritual successor.
Yep.
And I highly recommend it. Like, as it's basically Jet Set Radio, but modernized, and it plays amazingly.
Oh,
Great
nice.
soundtrack, gameplay, everything. So
Okay.
those are like the last like 2 games I've been playing. And I guess like like everybody else. What's the name of this one? Lethal Company.
Divers. Hey, Lethal Company.
Lethal
Hell
Company.
Divers 2 coming out next week.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited for that one.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I've been playing. I mean, this is gonna sound like a weird combination of games, but the last 2 games I've been playing, it's been Elden Ring, which I still haven't finished. So it's that, and Civilization 5.
Hey,
Civ
I'm
5.
with you.
Oh my God,
Hey, that's me.
Okay, man,
That's me.
that's a hell of a game.
Hey, that's all
It
him.
never ends.
Yes.
It never ends.
One more turn. Just
One more turn.
One more turn. 4 a.m. rolls by. You're like,
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Nice.
man, people always give me that face whenever I talk about Civilization, man. It's like I'm excited for Aura History Untold come out to see what new stuff they do with that genre. But yeah. All right, so me and you friends, George. Like, we friends.
I mean, we got any Age of Empire fans here? Like,
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Love me some Age
Yeah.
of
Yep.
Empires.
He on it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so we friends too, Rick. Sorry, Daniel.
Hell yeah.
I'm just kidding.
that's all right.
All right, man. So let's roll into. I'm gonna go ahead and play at full screen the trailer for Championship, so chat can see what this game is all about. So cool.
Cool.
So cool.
All
So
right.
I'm going to play the B-roll that you guys sent me in the background.
Yeah.
That must be so cool to like every time that you guys probably watch the trailer, you're probably like, we made this. Like this
It's
is
nice. It's cool.
cool,
It's
right?
cool. It's
Oh,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. It is.
That's gotta be so. Even while I was watching, I was like, I can't imagine if I was, doing something like this, like, and seeing it come to fruition,
Right.
like, starting
It's
small.
weird. It's weird because sometimes it's hard when you're in it, sort of to stop and like smell the roses or
Mhm.
say like, "Hey, this is coming along good." Sometimes you're just your nose on the mud down there, just making a game, and sometimes it's hard to blow ourselves out. But I mean, when we watch the trailer, it's one of those moments where we can appreciate the whole totality of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Like we watched this, and we just started less than a year ago. It's only a couple
Yeah.
of months, and then we get to see this, and we're just like,
It's pretty.
we're making
cool.
it.
Yeah.
It's
No,
really
and
cool.
it's been like super like just nice in general because we've been working in mobile games for I would say maybe like 8-9 years, and we don't get to do this kind of stuff in the mobile market. It's especially in the genre we're in. Like it's nice being able to finally sink our teeth into like a big project like this,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
really put our all into it. It's been really like nice.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So, like, for people that are unfamiliar, like, with the look of the game, like, the only way I could characterize it is like, it's a roguelike, like,
Mhm.
and similar to everybody knows, like, when Vampire Survivors came on the scene, it was like really huge, right? So, you're not really pressing the buttons for the powers; they kind of like on a timer and stuff like that. So, go
Mhm.
ahead and explain to us, like, what kind of game this is.
Well, the game definitely is in that bullet heaven feel where it's mostly you just trying to build yourself out in every run and try to create as much destruction as possible. The look and feel, we're trying to separate ourselves from other people in the field by just trying to make a more mature look, have a map that actually has like a shape and a form and a location. You can travel through it. And then we just look for different ways to like traverse the world. Because usually these games are on foot, so that's how we came up with the car. Let's just do it.
That's cool.
We're sitting in the office and like, how do we make ourselves different? Like, let's get in the car.
Turn into a car.
Actually, there's a funny origin story to the whole car thing. One of the last mobile games we worked on was this little game called Ape Shot, and basically it was a Vampire Survivor like, but you're playing this little monkey in a Jeep. And
Okay.
basically, instead, your power ups, instead of being like your usual like power ups, there'd be other monkeys that had different abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd be driving around, killing like these little lizard people and stuff, and like, we kind of already had that foundation once we decided to jump to this like game. So like that's kind of like where the whole car versus a character thing came from.
Some people I've seen call it Vampire Survivors meets Transformers, and I'm like, that's a great description. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
That's a good way to characterize it, man.
Yeah.
So
And one thing that I think like when we were searching for that initial game idea, it's like, man, in this genre, none of the games have online co-op. It's like this genre, like Bullet Heavens are like perfect for this, and none of them had it. And so that's one thing we wanted from the ground up to build it. So it's 4-player co-op, fully online, so you can play with your friends. And that to me is the most fun part, because I have like 168 hours in Steam logged in this demo, and we still, when we're playing with each other, our palms still get sweaty, and we're still screaming over Discord. So yeah, it's cool.
That was definitely one of my dreams come true. Is being able to something we didn't really do in mobile a lot was to create a game that after we're done working on it during the day is to go home, call your coworkers, let's play it. And play it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That for me is like the dream. That's why I do this. This is like why we do this.
Yeah,
I completely agree. Like the co-op aspect of it is fun. And like it's always weird to me when these Bullet Haven games don't have co-op, because it's a perfect mix of
co-op is hard. It's hard to make. It's hard.
Yeah, but when you're just online, man, it just adds another layer of like complexity. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like double the work.
So I'll let I always do this. I'll let Nova go ahead and lead us into the next question.
Oh, definitely, man. Appreciate it. So we definitely took a note to the heroes being derived from like a few mythological people. You know, we have Athena, we have Son Goku on the screen. We have also Gilgamesh as well.
Yeah.
So is there any other way that that type of aspect of the game shows up throughout, like in the game? Besides?
Yeah. So our sort of our idea with this was so we're from Puerto Rico, so we come from a very culturally diverse, country. It's like a big melting pot, and we always wanted to, if we're gonna do a game like this, like, can we inject as many mythologies and cultures into the game as possible? So we start pull from everywhere, and so yeah, like you mentioned, Sun Wukong, Athena, Gilgamesh. We have Joan of Arc. We have Arthur from Arthurian legend. Which else, Danny?
Yeah, we
Tomoe
have.
Gozen. Yeah.
Yeah, we have Tomoe as a historical Japanese warrior. She's
Yeah.
amazing. She swings around with a bow, piercing everything. We also have Jesse James, the outlaw.
Cowboy. Yeah.
Cowboy. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. We also got Yasuke, the African American samurai from Japan. Nobunaga's right-hand man. I think he had a series on Netflix a couple of years ago. We definitely brought him into the game, and so they're coming along. And then we're gonna inject some like Rani. Rani, she's sort of this Hindu like warrior, like pretty much time warrior.
Yeah.
And then, like Jorge said, we're from Puerto Rico, so we're also injecting a character with some of our own culture. This character's called El Gigante. It's pretty much a folklorical figure here. He's sort of like figure that scares away the evil spirits.
Yeah.
But we sort of gave him this young, sort of teenage feel because we are sort of much younger culture. So he's got his sort of Miles Morales, street punk, spray paint, and he's got a pet chupacabra. So
Yeah.
Hey,
And a lot of the abilities in the game are also sort of derived from like mythologies and stories. Like, for example, you can summon like Zeus's thunder and and different abilities from myth, which can empower the champions. Basically, the sort of the story behind it, just to give you a sense of it. There's this corporation called the Dominion. So these are the bad guys that you're seeing on screen, basically the evil soldiers. So this evil conglomerate basically started taking over the world, and its head, its CEO, let's say, call it like that, became obsessed with like ancient relics. And he started finding ancient relics across the world, and they started experimenting with them, and they figured that they could materialize the actual legendary owners of these relics. So, and they started experimenting on them, and they extracted their powers. That's where their armies have all of these powers. So you're at the beginning of the game, in the tutorial, you escape the basically a laboratory, and it's your task to regain your powers as you play, and try to stop the Dominion from taking over the world. So it's a very they're trying to protect basically history and culture from being like pillaged by this evil big conglomerate. Super evil mega.
And they're mad.
Yeah.
They're mad that these humans just took their power. They're using like Duracell batteries. So they just go in, beat up soldiers and they just collect their power back, get their they power up, regain some of their skills. Yeah. And also while they're at it, they also borrow, like Jorge said, they borrow the powers of other legends that have been their energy taken away. Like you can see in the video there, we have a floating demon head. That'll be the demon head of Shuten Doji, famous Japanese folklorical figure, who legend says he got his head cut off. So we sort of went with that, and we have it spitting fireballs.
Nice.
Yeah, and sake bombs.
And sake bombs. Yeah. We're trying to give it some, some humorous spins on it where we can, but mostly we're just trying to dig our claws in as many. The rich history of humanity is going to be represented in this game as much as we can, wherever we can grab from it.
Right. Yeah. No, it's definitely awesome, man. It's definitely awesome. And we talked earlier, and I think it was mentioned. I think Rick mentioned that the car aspect of the game kind of came from some previous work that you guys had, right?
Yeah.
So did the story itself kind of drive to the wanting to turn back and forth between the car, or this was just something that was like, all right, this is something that we can bring new to the table. We can go ahead and try that out because it looks amazing. It's almost like you're playing two games at the same time, with your friends.
It's the car aspect came very. It was one of those things where I remember Daniel mentioned it. We were talking about ideas, and he had mentioned the thing about just turning into a car, and it was one of those things where it's like, how will this fit? Because they're like heroes of legends and champions and stuff like that, but when we then basically, I think the turning point was saying, okay, they're not just going to be their original champions. They're going to be, since they're being extracted into modern times, they have street clothes. They're dressed like a modern person. So for, video games happened, and then suddenly the experimentations from the Dominion gave them the ability to turn into vehicles. Apparently the Dominion was experimenting with their soldiers turning into vehicles, so they gained the powers through that those experiments. So the story, the details of that will be addressed a little bit more in the final game, but the car was one of those ideas where the mechanic came before the story instead of the other way around. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, I like to believe that these heroes, they're from the celestial realm, and they can see us. They know about us. They see the crazy stuff we do. They know about our music. They know about our culture. They follow us. At one point, they were on Earth too, and so when they're dragged in here, they have some of these things they know about us, and they're like, "Well, I'm here now. Yeah, let's party, and I got a car. Yeah, I got a sick ride.
Yeah, Athena has Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a really cool and interesting design choice. Because when you think mythological characters, you don't think cars, but it works. You know what I mean? Like it works. And I like the aspect to where you pretty much, I use it as two different health bars. You know what I mean? Like I have my car health bar and I have my my avatar health bar. Like, and it works really, really well. Like, especially when you get into, we were playing the other night and you get into like really shoddy situations and you're like, I need to zoom out here.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That's the idea.
Yep.
Sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the times they're good. You know what I mean? But no, it's super cool. Before you get into your next question, Nova, let me go ahead and bring up this super chat really quick. Sorry, this is covering you up, Rick, but
that's okay.
Legendary Yobi hits us with the 5. He says 18 episodes in and already doing big things. Proud of you, gentlemen. Keep up the fantastic work. Peace, love, life. Stay safe, brothers. Black is beautiful. Yes. Thank you, Legendary Yobi. We appreciate that so much, man. So much. So Nova, you had another question for him.
I think that was all for me.
That was it? Okay.
Yeah, they hit the nail right on the head, man. And the music, before we go, the music is amazing, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We got a local composer, a friend of ours, Thomas Balzac. He did an amazing job, and he's still working hard on some of the songs. So
Very cool.
Yeah, he's been doing great work.
Yeah, like we got really lucky with Thomas in regards that, like, Danny and I don't know if you guys have played Risk of Rain 2, like if you're familiar with that.
I haven't played that.
You should.
Great roguelite.
Definitely great game.
Great roguelite with co-op. It's a great time. It has amazing music, dude. Like the guy behind it, Chris Cristano, writes an amazing soundtrack. Anyways, so basically Thomas is also a massive fan of the game. So when Danny and I were going back and forth with him about the tracks and whatnot, we kind of brought up like, have you played this game Risk of Rain? And he's like, I love Risk of Rain. I have like hundreds of hours put in them. Like, oh my god, so this guy's on the same, like wavelength.
Yeah, like we want the music to take you on a journey. We want these long riffs, and each song should have an element where you just want to hum it in your head.
Yeah.
Like my favorite is like the freaking like start like the opening menu song.
Yes.
Like, that is my
Yes.
favorite track. It
Bob
is
in
so
my
good.
head.
Yeah,
That was jazz, a little jazz. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah,
that one's good for
definitely.
sure.
And the
That's
boss
good.
music for the island stage.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
it's really
just-
cool.
Yeah.
Rips.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, the
it's
music's
we
good.
called it what was it? The dark metal bomba reggaeton. That was the vibe of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I called it
Yeah.
heat. That's what I called it.
Heat. Oh yeah.
I like that.
For sure. For sure.
That's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah, but
So
I think
Scale.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. No, go ahead, man. I was just gonna say. I think I had everything. I think Scale had something on his mind that he wanted to talk about.
Okay. Yeah.
Me? Good?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yep.
Everybody can hear me? Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, I just want to say we all make mistakes in life. We're human beings. I was just wondering if you guys could list off some typical errors that you make as video game developers when programming a new game. There's probably some young developers in the crowd, they may want to hear some advice. Can you guys list off some things?
Oh, of course. Wow, we could talk for 5 hours about
Yeah,
things that
yeah,
you could do better. Yeah. So I could do one that's very important, and I think it's the most obvious one, the ones that new developers sometimes fail at, and it's not communicating properly between the members, and especially when they don't communicate often enough. So one of the things that we try in the studio to do all the time, we work a lot remotely, so we use Discord for communication and stuff like that. It's like if I start having an idea about a feature in my head, and for example, Danny is working on it also, I need to talk to him as soon as possible, because the longer I keep that movie going in my head, the more it will diverge from what his movie is in his head. And our movie should be the same one. We're making the same game.
Yeah,
we can't be having two movies, different movies. So I think that effective communication and over communicating. Sometimes young developers think it's like, oh, I'm not going to bother him, or please don't bother me, I'm programming. It's like, no, schedule time to talk, and talk often. And I think that's very important to do. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. I mean, that's, with a lot of different lines of work, we know that communication is key, even within relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
With
Everything.
siblings, with parents, with spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, like communication is key. It's just the spice of life, isn't it?
and it's hard.
It
Because
is,
sometimes these conversations are uncomfortable, and it might be a friend, and you don't want to offend them, but you have to be honest about something that's happening. And man, it's hard. Yeah, it takes. Yeah.
On that point, the important thing to know is that you and the other person we're trying to go in the same direction.
Yeah.
It's not us versus them. It's how do we come together and move forward together? Because we're in this boat together. We got to row in the same direction.
Right.
Yep, 100%. Before Scale gets into his next question, let me go ahead. Legendary Yobi's, he's on one today.
Oh,
he just
man.
he got 10. Thank you, man. He said, just by the chemistry I see between you three, please keep the foot on the gas. And I see really big things from you all. And I read this beforehand, so I can do this freeway voice really quick. He said, I can see the vision early.
Appreciate you.
I believe in you, gents. That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, Yobi.
Yeah, we just trying to be legendary like you.
You know? For sure, man. So you had another question too, Scale.
I do. And since we were talking about communication, I was wondering if you guys could talk about a specific feedback process that you guys use to improve your design methodology. Did you have anything like that going on?
Mostly
go ahead, Danny. Yeah.
Well, mostly, our feedback, our first is between ourselves. Like we play, we talk, and we come together, and we pretty much say what's working, what's not working. After that, since we've already got the demo out, we definitely go and check out the feedback our players have been giving us. Feedback is always great. It's always important, and it's always important to bring it in and discuss it with the team, and make sure we find the best way forward.
Yep. And right now we have a Discord server for the game. So right, people that come into the community, can jump in and get feedback on the game, and some of it has been invaluable. Like for example, we've done some, you know, like for example, when our prologue build came out in November, our original demo, we did some pushes, and some people came into the community, and suddenly we were, hey, this is not working. We found a bug here, and it's so nice that people take their time to actually report these things and not just stay silent. And we're like,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Like we're super
Yeah,
super thankful for them. So it's yeah, so far it's been great. Plus yeah, we take to heart the feedback, because as one of the problems sometimes with development is that you're down in a box and you don't know how people are going to react to it. So we take the people's feedback pretty seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's also been
Sorry, yeah, I've seen you guys being like super active within the Discord,
Yeah.
as well. And yeah, and what's cool is, like you said it best, is that you're surprised that people have reported these kind of things. Like
Mhm.
if people didn't see the potential within y'all's game, they wouldn't report it. So you
Right.
guys
Yeah,
should feel very good about
They care.
getting
They care.
that
Yeah.
kind of feedback,
Yeah.
because they
Yep.
like the game. They want the game to be a success, just like you
Mhm.
guys do. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's really cool. I'm sorry, Daniel, for cutting you off, but go ahead. Sorry.
No, no worries. It's absolutely. I just want to piggyback on what Jorge was talking about our Discord, and it's great because we've been showing a very early version of our game, early iterations of the game, and it's great also when we get suggestions from players, especially suggestions that also go in line with things we have planned. Sort of validates the direction that we're going in.
Mhm.
We have a whole slew of features that we have planned over the next couple of months. And especially when we see players ask for very similar things to what we have planned, it just pretty much cements it, like we're on the right path. This is the way to go. This is we know what people want, and we're gonna deliver it. And I can't wait. For what we show them off in the next couple of months.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
excited as well, honestly.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, that you can go. Oh, I guess you asked that already, so I guess I can ask my question then. So we know, like, these bullet haven games, the roguelikes are known for their replayability. So
Mhm.
what systems have you implemented in Championship to keep players coming back, like, more and more?
Yeah, we there's a few, and actually some of them are being released in the new versions of the demo that are coming out this weekend for Steam Next Fest. So take a look at them when they're out, because they're gonna be cool. So one of the features basically is an upgrade tree where you can upgrade your base abilities, and it's literally a tree. It's the Yggdrasil world tree from Norse mythology. So yeah.
Yeah.
This Viking is happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can traverse the basically the world tree and upgrade your base stats and unlock some stat abilities, and then you can get in the game to increase like the area of the size of your attacks and the power of them and how many times it repeats, etc. And we also have a pretty substantial list of achievements and unlocks within the game, which in the demo we have obviously only a limited amount exposed to the players, but on the final version of the game, it's going to be just some ridiculous amount of achievements. So people are going to be able to play for a while to unlock everything. And a little bit moving forward, one of the things that we really want to nail with the game is some sort of competitive mode where players can, band in teams and play against other teams of players in terms of, like time trials and score attacks and stuff like that. Those things are still like in the planning phases, but they're definitely coming, because we really think that a game that has co-op aspects, but then you can take your buddies and compete against that other person and their buddies could be really
That
cool
is cool.
and pretty
That
unique
is.
for the genre. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm liking everything you saying, man.
And co-op for the
Yeah.
genre really is a new thing. I haven't played any of these with co-op, and that truly is a new aspect in the game. And that kudos to you guys for sure.
And I'm always
Thanks.
a fan
Yeah,
of co-op
we're-
in anything.
Yeah, same here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I love co-op games.
It's just I mean, like, for example, like we had mentioned Risk of Rain 2 and together we played a few times, and I know Ricky, you have like 300 or something hours, something like that. in
No,
Risk
I
of
have
Rain
more.
2.
We have
More?
like 500,
I'm
500
sorry, I
500
lowballed
hours
you.
easy.
Yeah.
I got right now on Steam. I have logged 575
Well,
hours.
Yeah, we
Oh
have
my
500 hours of
God.
that. Hey, wait, we also Deep Rock Galactic we have around the same amount of time too.
Yeah, it's really good.
I don't know if you
also.
played
And-
Deep Rock
oh,
Galactic. You're just a bunch of drunk space dwarves working for
My
the working
kids
for the
play that.
man, mining
Yeah.
minerals and killing bugs.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
really
yes.
good, and we've seen so many. I mean, some roguelikes that have co-op features. They're so addicting, like Streets of Rogue, and and Deep Rock and stuff like that. And it's like you just want to keep playing with your friends. And the good thing is that it doesn't have to be like a taxing experience. We want players to be able to join with their friends and play for like a half an hour, and hey, that's okay. You don't. But if they want to go for like 2 hours, they can go. So we want to give them that flexibility.
Nice.
And we definitely want to lean into the randomness aspect of roguelikes. That every run could bring something special. This first iteration of the game, we have all different kinds of powers, pretty much the enemies, how they come out. So we keep leaning into that, and there's going to be more features to definitely make it so each run is just different. It could become with new surprises. So.
Yeah,
nice.
Y'all hitting this interview on the head. Well, y'all getting me more and more excited.
Oh, we're excited. We're excited. We're excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited to play it. That's so cool, man. Let me get this. I got one more question before I pass it off back to Supernova, but this legendary Yobi guy, he just keeps on coming in with another 5. He says, "Peace, love, life." You all got a supporter in me and Viking. I'm gonna hit you in the DMs about doing some game code giveaways with the community real soon. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Man. That's what it's all about.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much, man.
It's
You
this-
too legendary.
He is, man. Thank you for the 5, man. Yeah, we really. It's just something about the gaming community that's just so good. I mean, and I could be part of the problem sometimes with being toxic, but it's fine.
Oh yeah.
But we just love it, man. We love spreading gaming and everything along with that, which is why one of the reasons why I reached out to you guys, because I played the game and I was like, man, I'm gonna try to reach out and see if we can get an interview with these guys, man, and see the minds behind, because we all play the games and stuff, you know what I mean? But like, it's really, really nice to talk to the ones that develop the games, because without you guys, we wouldn't have any of these. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, from all the way from the top, from the CEO, all the way down to the bottom to the QA testers, everybody matters, man. So
It indeed, yeah, that's very important.
yeah. So my next question is, how does your team approach the game's design to ensure it offers both a challenging and rewarding experience for players?
I think we just want to make sure that while you're playing, that your choices matter. Like when you're playing along and you have a power come up, I want you to look at those powers and be excited about, I'm going to put this in the build. How does it affect the way I play? Because and then have those challenges, have something to play that against, which is the enemies. Like you need the challenge to feel just right so that you can feel that power that you just got kick in and just mow down a bunch of guys, a bunch of enemies. It's very satisfying. The challenge comes in from definitely just slowly building up more elements that you have to keep track of. The first level, it's a lot more toned down. Things come in slower. But as the game progresses, we're going to throw more stuff at you. You got to be ready for anything to happen. You got to be ready to jump in that car and get out of danger. You got to be ready to, like, maybe I got to take a defensive power rather than take something offensive because I need to protect myself. And the good thing about the co-op is what's different from most games in this genre is you have to make it quick. Game doesn't pause in co-op. Well, we do have a single player mode where the game will pause. You can just slowly learn the powers. In co-op, because of the design of the game, like we couldn't stop the game every time someone wanted to pick a power. It's done on the go. So you got to learn your stuff. You get to slowly learn as a player. So there's a challenge in that as well. And it's rewarding once you're like, oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. I know what this is. Because we've made strides to like make it so you can easily identify powers, like with the corner of your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. Yeah.
It gets crazy on the go too when you're trying to play and get powers at the same time. I'm like, oh my god, can't read. Oh, I got hit. Let me back out.
It's been a couple
of rest points. We build in some rest points, so like again, if we didn't have time to catch up to your powers, there are moments where the gameplay does slow down.
Yeah, sometimes I've died horrible deaths while being mesmerized by Ricky's amazing visual effects work in the game. Yeah, it's like sometimes, it's like
it looks good.
Yeah,
it looks really good. I think that's one of the things that we wanted to do visually. It was that where's the line? I'm gonna cross it by like 5 miles. It's like we wanted to go so ridiculous with some of the power because. I remember when we did our very first trailer, the end tag was "break the game." That was like a mandate to the player, and it's like, and our lead programmer always when we're talking about them, we're like, oh, that might be too big or that might be too bright. It's like, break the game. So it's like, okay, thank you for reminding me. We should go ham with these things, and obviously. We keep adding content and new things basically every week to the game as we drive towards the release. And sometimes it's funny because we make things bigger and better looking and more, with more design juice, so to speak. And sometimes things that we worked on a couple months ago fall behind and we have to go back and sometimes bring them up to set. But that's all part of the iterative work of designing the game. Like it happened, for example, with the soldiers for the game. I remember it was one of the first 3D models we had made, and back then they looked amazing. And then suddenly, like a month and a half ago, it's like they're the worst looking part of the game. Let's remake them. And the guys went in and just did a quick rework, and now they're one of the best looking parts of the game again. So it's crazy how that process works. It's like most types of art, it's never finished. You just stop at some point. At some point, you just decide to stop. So
I mean, it's been the same thing with a lot of the visual effects you guys have seen. Like I don't know, have you guys seen the water one, the giant blue typhoon?
Yes. Oh yeah,
that the first version of that
was
was the first version of that was just a spinning texture in the ground. Like it didn't have anything else. It had a spinning texture and would shoot out this white ring to indicate that it's hitting. So these guys dude, we got to do something about this because it doesn't look great. So I looked up some videos and stuff and some references and eventually I got to what you guys see now, which is that giant water typhoon that's nicely animated. So it's always nice seeing the before and after. I have some clips I wish I could share with you guys, but I have a lot of small recordings of my visual effects of before and after, and it's always nice seeing that transformation.
And a shout out to our art director William, who's team. They made up a beautiful game.
All the character design is his.
That's cool, man. And even whenever just playing the game, seeing the lighting effects on the assets on the ground or anything like that, the shine. You guys are using Unity, but you guys are taking it a step above graphically for most roguelites. I'm just blown away by by what you guys have been able to do, and it's cool seeing you guys push each other when it comes to the graphics of the game or some of the powers and stuff. This doesn't look good enough anymore. We started here, that looks amazing, but then we kept on pushing. Now what's down here? Well, the first stuff we started on doesn't look as good. So you guys are on the right direction, man.
Yeah, we constantly try to do that and keeping it running, we wanted to also make like a performant game. We didn't want to make the game, oh, it looks beautiful, but you need an RTX 3080 to run it. Like
Right.
that's
Right.
that's not our goal. We want to keep it very accessible for everybody. So obviously some quality settings change depending on your graphics card, and you'll be able to enjoy it as close to 60 FPS as we can. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we'll
really
try our
good.
best.
Yeah,
We're trying.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, there's a lot going on.
It is.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
definitely. Yeah.
like Danny mentioned at the beginning, we came from making games for mobile, and mobile is way more restrictive in terms of performance. So
Oh my god,
we're
insanely
we're
restrictive.
used to constantly being optimizing a game to try to squeeze as many cycles from the CPU as possible. So yeah, it's been ingrained in us. Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
also like over 10 years, we've always pushed ourselves visually. Especially when we started out, like one of the first games we made was a MOBA, and that was 10 years ago when League of Legends wasn't on the phone yet, or all these other, like we tried to push a very similar game, and we've always tried to push the envelope as much as we can within the area, the games we're working.
Mhm.
Even in the more simpler games we were making for mobile, we've always had a big attention to detail. Everyone on the team is a gamer. Like we're all gamers, and we want our games to feel great and look amazing. So we've always pushed ourselves forward as a team, individually too, just to do the best work we can.
Yeah, back then, making a game run on the iPhone 3 was a challenge. It's like,
iPhone
Sure.
3. That was wild.
yeah, that was
man.
harsh. That was harsh.
It's
Yeah.
a challenge for sure.
Yeah, what is it?
That's crazy. Man, I remember when the first iPhone came out. I was just blown away.
I'll
That's
never
crazy.
forget it.
That's
Like,
it.
wow.
Touch the screen.
It changed everything. So
Everything.
and with how
Amber
emergency-
It's an Amber Alert.
Emergency.
Amber Alert.
Yeah, Amber Alert.
I can't do nothing about that. I'm sorry.
No, it's
It
okay.
happens.
no
It happens down here too.
Cool.
Yeah.
And all I know is that today the phones, all devices have more pixels, and
Yeah.
Oh,
we have less hair. But we
Yeah.
keep going.
Oh man, that's great, man. I think so Nova, you have another question for them.
Yeah, I wanted to actually read a quick quote that I came across when doing a little bit of research, and it's from Mr. Hoyos. We're not on a first name basis
Yeah.
yet, but I'm just
Michael.
Yeah.
But let me go ahead and read this to you guys. The quote says, and it was to the Weekly Journal. It says, "Remember, this industry didn't exist in Puerto Rico. We don't have we don't have other models. There is nothing like this. This isn't an art company. It's not a technology company, and it's not a design company." Then he goes on to talk about like how many other different aspects you guys are, doing great things with your company. So obviously you guys have come a long way from mobile all the way to what we're watching on the screen right now. When you look back on how far you've come, man, what pops into your mind?
Woof. So that's a big one. I think so. Yes, it's true. When we started out in Puerto Rico, making a gaming company, we basically started it from scratch. There were, smaller 2-person teams, 3-person teams that were like hobbyists and stuff like that. But we were like the first ones to want to establish like an actual company and hire the best of the best in the island and get that going. And it was hard. It was hard. It was a challenge, and it's always been. But I think in a way it's allowed us to not necessarily follow a rule book. It's like we wanted to write our own rules for how to operate this and not be the typical company, the with the typical structure. And we always, one of the biggest moments of pride and joy within the company is that we do operate with joy. We operate with intention, and we want to not just elevate each other within the company, but find ways to improve the industry in the island, and actually you know if another team needs help and knowing how to do something or anything, we're willing to help as much as possible. And if that means getting involved with local universities and giving talks or involving some of the students in testing the game and getting their feedback, and some of us were professors in local universities before, so we like education to us is very important, and trying to getting all those things working in an ethical manner, where we're not taking advantage over anyone or anything like that. On the contrary, it's like the phrase rising tide rises all ships, so we want to literally rise everybody with us and help develop a technology ecosystem here in the island that hopefully outlives all of us, and it's not just in the short term. It's so yeah, I think that's to us what's important for that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
super cool to hear, man.
Yeah, no, because it's awesome, man. Like, if there wasn't a model before, there's clearly a model now, man, and
Yeah.
the love that you guys have for the game clearly shows through with when you're playing it. You can feel it, from the music to how it looks, in
Yep.
many different ways. So yeah, man, you guys are doing a great job.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think Scale, you got the next question.
Yeah, so I think we can all agree that we want this to be successful. Everyone is in
Mhm.
agreement to that. And I just
Yes,
want
sir.
to know, in your opinions, what are the key elements needed to develop a successful game? What would you guys say?
Man, it's a lot. There's a lot of like things. Like it's kind of hard to put. Like, just that's a good question though. It's a really good question. Man, I would say outside of giving doing the best that you can in development, there's like building up a community. Like we're doing like we have the whole Discord thing going on and all that. Like I don't know. Maybe you guys have like it's a lot of things.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
things. Ricky. You're absolutely
yeah.
right. It's a lot of things. But
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a lot of
number one has to come in from us before we can, talk about anybody outside the game. We have to talk about what we want. And I think the first thing we want and make sure the game's successful is we got to believe in our game. Like, first of all, we got to believe in what we're doing. We got to know what we're doing. We got to go out there and make sure see what other people are doing that's successful. Because almost every game you can see out there is built up upon the bones of a previous game. And so when we look at our game, it's what about this genre we love, and what can we bring new to it? That's for me. It's like probably the foundation of how we move forward with the game. And after that, definitely is getting in touch with the community. Every game has an ecosystem. Every game has a community, and we want to make sure that we're serving that community who loves that type of game. So and bullet heaven's a new genre, right? So we got to make sure that we're giving them what they want, and also hopefully bringing something new that they didn't know they wanted. Like, hey, you like this cake? Here's some caramel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
I'll tell you on your point about like bringing something new to the table. My boy J Rock he posted on Twitter, he was playing it, and I was like, "What the hell is this game?" And I DM'd him or whatever, and he was like, "Yo, it's like you said, it's like Vampire Survivors meets Transformers." Yeah, and I was like, "All right, I'm downloading it." And like literally that night, I downloaded on my ROG Ally, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta tweet this out. This game is too good."
Yeah.
It's really good, man.
Yeah,
and then
it
you
is.
guys brought up a good point about community and kind of what you guys envision, right, and what you guys want from the game. Like that's a really good answer.
Excellent.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I wish this game so much success, man, because I'm not gonna lie, I really do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And any game you can play co-op with your friends, man, definitely like
For sure.
up my alley
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I think the community is going to really, really dig this game. So, with that, this is kind of a big question, but so you guys have been featured in the ID at Xbox game demo Winterfest showcase, and now next week Steam Fest, right? So can you tell me a little bit how ID at Xbox and Steam Fest help smaller studios like yourselves launch a game?
Yeah, so I mean, all of these festivals and showcases for games in the industry are really, really, really important. And if there's some advice for developers making their game and they don't know how to make it noticeable, it's just find lists of every showcase or festival or online event that you can find, be it within Steam or any platform. It doesn't matter which ones, and submit. And you'll get a bunch of rejections, but you keep submitting and don't take no for an answer, so to speak, because that's where that's where the message gets delivered directly to the the user that's looking for the thing that you're offering. Because if you go traditional user acquisition routes for games, it's where you're buying users or you're doing ads or stuff like that. It's a little bit of carpet bombing, so to speak, and let's see, spray and pray approach. And these festivals and showcases are really important because it's so targeted, and people that go there, they're literally looking for a game like what you're offering. So I think they're amazing tools and events for developers. Steam Next Fest starts on Monday, so I'm so looking forward to seeing how people react, because it's our first Steam Next Fest, and we're very, very, very excited. And if to everybody out there, if you haven't wishlisted the game, go there and wishlist it. It helps a ton, because that's what the Steam algorithm likes. So
that's new info for real, because I'm still doing that.
Yeah. Definitely hit us up in the discussion boards. Give us any feedback. That also helps a lot. And join our Discord.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Come chat with us. We're there all day, honestly.
The first time I learned about the Discord, I joined instantly. That's cool, man. So
wanted to mention something about the Discord too. So so for our Discord members, if they want access to the closed beta that we're running right now, you can open. There's a ticketing system within the Discord to get your beta key. So if people want to join into a closed beta and have access to extra characters that are not available in the demo to test out, they're welcome to join their Discord and get your keys and enjoy a little bit more extra content for the game.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Saint Reborn 311 says, I'll pull it up on screen here. It's kind of funny. He said, I'll wish list it if you promise not to tell my wife. I'm creeping closer and closer to 2,000 products on Steam.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
Oh my goodness.
It's those darn sales, man. It's
$2 for this game, $2 for that one. Like, why don't I buy it? Why not?
Why not?
Don't worry, I don't show my wife my Steam list either. Don't worry about it. She knows that secret.
They get me every time, man.
She comes in the room, close.
Yep. That's great, man. So I think Scale One has a nice little fun topic really quick that he wants to tell you guys.
Quick little fun one. This may be the easiest question and maybe the most difficult question. What are you guys' favorite games of all time? Tough.
That's tough.
Hard one.
Tough.
Man, it's a mood thing. I guess from moment to moment. Man, I almost separate that question like in different times of my life.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
when
yeah.
I was a kid,
Yeah,
I love Final Fantasy 3, Chrono Trigger, Suikoden, but I can't play JRPGs today. But I remember as a kid, I loved them. Today,
Yeah.
I love a good open world experience. Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring, just amazing.
Yeah.
So again,
Elden Ring was great.
It was.
yeah.
Are
Elden
you
is
excited
great.
for,
Elden Ring is
It
great.
is great. Yeah, got that
You
DLC
excited for
coming.
Dragon's Dogma?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
That's right. Hey, Rick, it's got co-op.
Yeah,
Oh,
with no fast travel, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool, man. What about you, Ricky?
man, it's similar to like Sosa's thing with like depending on the time period, but man, like I would say definitely top is Super Metroid,
There
just
you go.
for
Okay.
just gameplay, atmosphere, music, everything. It's such a solid game. It almost feels like they did it by accident. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like definitely up there with that is I don't know if you guys ever played Phantasy Star Online, like for like the GameCube or
Yes, sir.
Dreamcast.
Yep.
But like that game was like, I remember I come from a big family like of like 6 brothers, and 6 brothers, one house, we got to share everything, So it was like I get 1 hour at this time, you get 1 hour at that time, and then like when these guys showed up with that game, I never got my hour. They would be there playing it, and I hated that game. I hated
You probably wasn't the oldest, huh?
Yeah. I'm number 5 out of 6. I'm more.
Oh yeah.
You don't get a
So
turn.
yeah. They're just there. They're just playing for hours. Like, I hate this game. I want to play my games. And then they're like, at one point, do you want to play? I was like, fine, I'll play it. Immediately, like one of my favorite games ever. It's like a game I'll randomly like I'll play it like once every year for like a couple months. I'll just like jump back in.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. What about you, George?
Okay, so I'm gonna go the same route depending on the phase of my life. So I grew up on the original NES, and I remember back then, and I think Super Mario 3 to me just blew my brain back then. I remember going to the movies to see this movie that Nintendo had made called The Wizard. And at the end of the movie, they revealed Mario 3 in the movie. And, back then there was no internet, no anything, so you didn't know. So suddenly it's like, what the hell is this? Why am I watching a game from a new Mario game? And and that game just blew my brain. And from that era, Final Fantasy 1, the original one, also just, it blew my head. Later in life, I guess Final Fantasy 7 and Ocarina of Time, Zelda, that game's just
Ocarina.
that game's just a masterpiece of a game. And in my older days, like I mentioned, Civ 5, it's Civ 5, man, it's just
Never goes away.
It's and Hades. Hades is just a masterpiece of a game.
Yeah.
So I think that would be like my Mount Rushmore of games. Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
That
Yeah.
all y'all picked out some winners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super
How about
cool.
you guys? What's your
What do
favorite
you
games
guys-
of all time? Yeah.
I'm not here to answer any questions.
How do you really feel about that?
So I have 4. Shenmue, Fable, Civ,
Oh my God, Fable.
the Civ series,
Yeah.
and Jade Cocoon.
Jade Cocoon, holy crap!
Wow.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
I never played it, but
Yeah.
I used to watch my older brothers play it so much. It has a bomb soundtrack, man.
Finally, somebody who
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
what the hell I'm talking
Out of the
about.
1,000 fans, I'm one of them. Number 1 and 2.
Oh,
Yes,
all right,
sir.
yeah. Scale, what about you, man?
For me, all time, I can't even lie, will probably be Twilight Princess. I know it's strange. Ocarina should be the one, but like Twilight Princess just put me in a whole different mode with Zelda games in general. I was like, this may be, and I'm just a big Zelda head because Ocarina of Time is like the one, of course. But my personal favorite out of that is just like that one just threw me for a loop all over the place. So
It was weird, right? It was kind of weird.
Yeah, for
yeah,
Zelda
yeah.
game, it was weird. Mhm.
Weird,
And
yeah.
you never, and then you're coming from Wind Waker to that is like, what's happening in Zelda? Love it, but yeah, so that'd probably be like my maybe number one game.
Okay. What about you, Nova?
My top would be Halo 2 because I pretty much flunked out of college because of it.
Me too. Yo, we used to play together. I mean, this is the same timeline. Like, we used to go to what's called the Student Activities Building, skip class all the time, just to play Halo with the guys, man. Yeah. Go ahead, Nova. Sorry.
no, because that piece needed to be said because that's true. But
a little bit of lore.
So that definitely Ocarina of Time, man. Solid game, can't go wrong with that. Square went in for Final Fantasy for me 7, 8, 9, and 10. Solid run right there.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
And the God of War series, man. I'm cheating for saying the whole series, but I can't pick one. I can't pick one, man. They're so solid.
Yeah.
My favorite is God of War 3 still. God of War 3 was just so good.
It was. Really
I mean, Kratos was just going on a rampage, and that like even more hardcore rampage in the third game.
Yeah, it all led up to him.
Everything, killing everything.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
That's cool. Another tidbit on Halo. We used to run. This is back when we did LAN parties.
Oh my God, yes.
We used to have, like in my mom's house, we used to have every room filled with a TV, and like cords were just everywhere. And you would just hear us talking the most trash towards each other after a like, people would run out the room, say, "You suck." Like, oh, it was the best.
It was best, man. I miss those days.
I do too.
Me too. Yeah. The LAN co-op, George.
Yep.
Fun, man.
Very fun.
So my next question is another fun one. Is if you could collaborate with any developer or creative in the industry on a future project, who would it be and why?
Okay, Sosa, I think we have the same company, right? Come on.
Yeah.
500 hours in, man.
Yeah, Hoopu Games from Risk of Rain 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I love
that.
I would love to work with.
I do need to play that too.
Me too.
I highly recommend it, man. It's gonna become like the new like game to play with your friends. Trust me.
Nice.
Okay.
Risk of Rain. Okay.
I mean, in my case, if it's a person, and it's just because I saw him do a keynote address like in 2009, yeah, and it's Will Wright, the designer from The Sims and SimCity, and not SimCity, The Sims, yeah. And I was just blown away by the way he saw games, and he was so honest about it. He was like, hey, the quicker you admit you're a drug dealer, the better you're off. It's like you're dealing on the hardest drug known to man, which is created right inside of your brain. And I was like, oh, that's a way to put it. And so it's a really, really smart guy. And and I know people see sometimes The Sims as a meme, but The Sims is a really addicting freaking game. It's like if you sit down and play Sims 4, you can play for 12 hours and be on your pajamas at 12 midnight on a Saturday.
It's Sims player.
Yeah. People still stream Sims 4 to this day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, if I had to choose a developer, I know I said Ricky picked Hoopu Games, but I also have to say Supergiant Games. The guy developers from Hades.
Yeah.
True.
Their dedication to art, to their visual style, their ability to tell a story, to their craft, like from Bastion all the way to Transistor to Pyre to Hades, and Hades 2 now coming out. Like every single one of their games is just visually stunning. The story they tell is engrossing, and they must be so much fun to work with, and so demanding too. They must have the highest demands of just themselves, and it's sort of like how we treat ourselves too. Like I hope we treat ourselves to that standard, like trying to push ourselves to the limit.
Right.
and what we can do.
Well, judging by everything that you guys have said, and then the quality of the game so far, even in just the demo, you guys are doing that, man. Like, I have no doubt that you guys are pushing yourself to those standards. Yeah.
And
Um,
and so what you just said, Viking, to that point, like you guys have pretty much talked about like how as the game grows, you guys are also growing too, and that's showing as well.
Yeah, it's something that once we jumped to this PC game, like again, we were working in mobile for 9 years,
Dude,
pretty much.
Yeah, 8 or 9 years. Yeah,
and so we've seen ourselves progress over time. And so once we jumped into PC to making a console game with so much more freedom, we actually scared ourselves when we started making this game. Like we mobile games were sort of holding us back. And then when we made this transition, I feel like Studio exploded creatively. And we're really excited for what we're doing now and where we're going. So I'm just hoping everyone just loves what we come out with.
They will, man. They will.
Yeah.
100%. Before I get to the last question, so we know it's on Steam, on PC. We know that it's the demo is currently on Xbox, but is there any plans to bring co-op to the Xbox version soon, or?
So that's a bit under wraps still. So we'll see. But yeah, hopefully it comes to consoles with its full co-op glory. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then any porting to the Switch or PlayStation at all? Because I don't think I've seen anything on that.
There are some plans for the near future. So stay tuned on that, and we'll make an announcement in the next couple of months. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good, man. All right, so for the final question, unless Scale or Nova, do you guys have anything else for?
No, I think we touched on pretty much everything.
Yeah. All right, cool, man. So finally, we're all just waiting for Championship, right? And then you got probably some people in the chats like a little skeptical. Like, what's the one thing you could say to convince people to dive into Championship?
Break the game.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, you already said it, man.
Break the game,
man. Break the
game. That's it. Yeah.
And tell us about it. Very important. Tell us about it.
Break the game and then tell us about it. Yeah.
There's a little subtitle under the phrase.
Break the game.
Yeah, break the game. That's a good slogan right there.
Yeah, hopefully, I mean, like we said, we made a game that we're really enjoying playing, and I mean, if people want to join us in the journey and enjoy it and give feedback and suggestions and just grow the game with us, it's the game has big plans, and it's gonna just get, if you enjoy the demo, stick around because it's gonna get exponentially better. So yeah.
I kept forgetting it's a demo. I was like,
yeah.
Already, man. It's like so much, like it offers just so much in this genre to where like you forget that it's even a demo.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, or that you guys are, working on new systems, new modes, more characters, more levels. Like, yeah, it's crazy the amount of work that you guys are doing and what y'all have done to this game, man. So 100%. So with that, do you guys have any final words at all? Something that we probably would have missed, or you guys want to touch on at all?
And to everybody, just thank you for playing the game, and make sure to join our Discord, get your beta keys, follow us on Twitter for the latest news, and let's enjoy the game together. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, cool. Cool,
also, for the beta testers, there's quite a few surprises in there, But,
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, some new things. So hopefully, you guys will enjoy it.
And also keep an eye out for our announcement for our early access release, which is coming up really, really soon. So we're gonna make an announcement for it pretty soon in the next couple of weeks.
All right, cool. I'll get some info from you guys and make sure I put everything that you guys are talking about in the description below the video, so that when people do check out the video, all the links will be there for them. And then
Perfect.
Also, whenever we're done, just be a comment on the video, and I'll pin it to the top so you can put whatever information that you want to. So that's the first thing people see in the comments once the video gets published. So yeah,
Nice.
that's cool, man. Well, first of all, thank you guys for coming on with us heathens to talk about your game, man. We really
fun.
appreciate
It's been fun.
y'all reaching out. Yeah,
man.
I'm glad I
Thank you
reached
for having.
out.
Gracias.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
It's no problem on my end, man. I was really excited about the game. I reached out, and you guys were down to come on, man. So that's love, man. I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everybody in the
Thank you.
chat, go download the game or I'm banning you from the channel. All right, man. And then with that, man, I'll let our outro play out, and we are out of here. Break the game. Break the game.
Do
Break
it.
the game.
Break the game.
Break the game.
Break the game.
Break the game.
You.
Yes.
Peace.
You.
Peace out.
Peace.